In this video I'm going to be talking about the Westside Barbell Belt Squat. So what is the Westside Barbell Belt Squat and what are the overall benefits of adding belt squats into your leg training? The Westside Barbell is an elite training facility in Columbus, Ohio that has produced some of the strongest lifters in the world. It is owned by strength expert Louis Simmons, who is often referred to as the godfather of powerlifting. So I'm going to start first by outlining the background to this belt squat and how it came to be. For that, I have to talk more about Louis Simmons, as he is the genius behind the belt squat, and he recently passed away. So in 1973, Louis Simmons had one of the highest totals in the powerlifting world, and he thought he was indestructible. However, later that year, he broke his lower back doing bent over good mornings. He had to find a way to get back into training and rehab his lower back. This is how he came up with the belt squat idea. And Louis invented this belt squat machine in 1975. So now I'm going to touch on the benefits of this movement. So the biggest benefit of this movement is that it allows your legs to get very strong. At the same time, your lower back and upper back have virtually no compression. So if you have someone with a shoulder issue, a neck issue, an upper back injury, or lower back injury, they can still work their legs using a belt squat machine. It's also therapeutic on the spine and provides traction. So if you're beat up from barbell squatting, have injuries, or want to get more volume leg work in without the compressive forces on the spine, then the belt squat is one of the best exercises you can do. You can work all the musculature in the legs and glutes by varying your foot position. Going with a wider stance and a focus on sitting back more when squatting will work the glutes and hamstrings a lot more. If you want to emphasize the quads, then you go with a closer stance with slightly more forward knee travel, very much like an Olympic squat. So who should use this movement? So, as I say, by extension, anyone who has an injury that is preventing them from doing a normal barbell back squat should use the belt squat if they have access to this machine. If they don't have access to this machine, there are other alternatives that they can do, which I will discuss later. Also, people who want to get more reps and sets of quality leg work into their routines that have a high carryover to free weight squatting but without putting too much stress on their spines should definitely consider adding belt squatting into their training programs. So some alternatives to belt squatting. I'm well aware that very few gyms have this belt squat machine. If you are in a gym that doesn't have a belt squat machine, don't despair. There are alternative variants of this exercise that don't rely on a dedicated machine. They might not be as good, but you can still get a lot of benefits. The first variant is a belt squat using a landmine. Landmines are very common in most gyms and are generally used for T-bar rows and other forms of rowing. You simply wear a dipping belt around your waist and hook yourself into one of the weight plates that is on the barbell. You can then do your belt squats from there. If you want to have more range of motion, then use smaller plates on the bar, or you could use bigger plates on the bar and then stand on some plates to elevate your starting position. Another variation is to perform belt squats using a low cable attachment in a cable station. So this way you just hook yourself into the cable station, step back 4 or 5 steps until you feel the full tension of the cable, and then squat from there as normal. You will get some good traction of the spine, and you can focus on sitting back to activate the glutes. And the other way of doing the belt squat is to stand on 2 plyo boxes with a dip belt attached around your waist. Load up the dip belt and then squat down. This way of doing the belt squat works well. However, from a safety point of view, you have to be careful. If you slip, you could easily strain something, so you should exercise great care if performing this variation. Make sure that you start off very light and get a lot of practice in with higher reps. And the last variation, it would be better to use a loading pin to hook yourself into. This would work a lot better than loading without the loading pin. As you can see in the image here, this is Alex from Alpha Destiny. He's doing belt squats on the plyo boxes. You can see he's using a loading pin. This way of doing it is actually very efficient as well. But if you have access to like a hardcore gym, I would definitely recommend making use of the Westside barbell belt squat. It's a fantastic bit of kit. It helps you to squat and work your legs very heavy and hard. If you have injuries, if you have pre-existing back injuries or neck injuries or shoulder injuries, etc. So if you don't have a belt squat machine in your gym, then I've also discussed in this article alternative ways of doing the exercise. The best way, which most closely resembles the belt squat machine, is to squat while standing on two 12 to 14-inch plyo boxes. And make sure you use a loading pin for this variation. So if you have any questions about anything in this article, please leave me a comment in the comment section. Have you ever tried belt squatting? If not, are you now going to consider adding it into your training regime? As always, stay safe and enjoy your training. Please like the video, share, and subscribe to this channel. I greatly appreciate it. In the description, I'm going to leave a link to my website where you can check out fantastic, informative articles about everything related to lifting weights and nutrition and everything else around it, the mindset. And also, you'll get a free program as well. Thanks a lot for watching this video.